Are you ready to be empowered with hope, faith, and confidence to believe in yourself, to overcome your fears and battle through every challenge and bully you face, both real and in your mind? Are you ready to learn life-changing strategies on how to develop the right mindset and positive mental attitude to courageously stand out in the crowd and be who you were born to be? Well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to the Building Warrior Confidence Podcast. Greetings and welcome to another uplifting, life-changing episode of the Warrior Confidence Podcast. I'm your host, Master Rich Grogan, and I'm truly grateful you're here today. And, of course, if you're new to the show and it's your first time, then welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here. And those that are back for another round of Warrior Confidence Power, well, welcome back, baby. So, how you doing today? Well, hopefully you're having a fantastic day and that this episode makes it even better. And maybe you're not. Well, then I'm hopeful this episode's exactly what you need to turn your day around. Either way, I'm going to give you everything I got and make sure our time together is empowering, valuable, enjoyable, and most importantly, educational, that you walk away saying, man, that was good. I'm glad I spent the time to listen, because I know time is the most sacred commodity on the planet, and the fact that you're spending time with me, I promise you, I'm going to give you all I got. Well, let's talk about the show real quick, a little tease. And, of course, if you read the title, you know what it is already. You may be asking yourself. So here's my questions. How do you want to be remembered? Yeah. How do you want people to feel about you, about the legacy, that your input? What do you want to be remembered by? Your character. And deep down, how do you want to feel about yourself? And I guess the ultimate question is, what is your character worth? What's the price of your character? A lot to think about there. I'll tell you what, while you're thinking about that, just a reminder, make sure you subscribe, like, and listen to previous episodes. And, of course, we love those 5-star reviews. And then also, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, it's at Warrior Confidence. The link is in the description box. Make sure you check that out as well. Good. Well, this is our Friday episode. It's the Feel Good Friday Weekend Challenge. So we're going to jump right in. This is episode number 351, and I titled it, If You Ain't Cheating, You Ain't Trying. Really? Is this how you want to be remembered? That's a right hook of reality right off the bat, isn't it? It is. And I mean, there's a lot that goes into this. And I'd asked the questions earlier, which we'll revisit in just a bit here. But what kind of spawned this was just recently here at our community pool. We got a beautiful pool in our community here. It's unbelievable. Palm trees everywhere, and it's kind of like this oasis. It's fantastic. Well, anyway, I was down there, and I was sitting in the hot tub, and struck up a conversation with a guy about, he was an athlete, so we started talking about it, and started talking about, he saw my tattoos on my arm with my kids' names, and my son's name's Austin, and another son is Emmett, and my daughter's name's Madeline. But I'm a huge Cowboys fan. Those that didn't know that, I grew up on a farm. But so the conversation went to football, and I mentioned something about I'd read Zach Martin with the Dallas Cowboys is an offensive lineman, has had the least amount of holding calls in a 10-year career than anybody else at this point. And I don't know how it came up, but I just kind of mentioned that. And this guy's reply, I mean, he seemed like a good guy. You know, he talked about he had 3 kids and this and that. But he says, well, do you really think he's trying that hard if he doesn't have any holding calls? And I said, well, I don't know. I said, I kind of respected him for, playing the game within the limitations of sportsmanship, being fair, being honest. And I'm sure he had more holding calls than were spotted by the officials. But I was kind of proud of his integrity there. And the guy says, well, I don't know. I feel if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I was like, really? And that's just what I said. He goes, well, yeah, because everybody cheats. So, if you really want to be competitive, you got to cheat. And I just let him ramble on for a bit. And then I asked, I said, man, is that really the example you want for your kids? He goes, well, it's better to tell them how the real world is and let them find out on their own. And I thought, well, there's I guess a tad bit of truth to that. You want to be real with your kids and let them know that not everybody plays by the rules, and a lot of people are going to cheat and going to get away with it. But man, what is your character? What is your integrity? What is your honor worth? I did an episode not too long ago. You have to check it out. I reference my Grandma Bonnie, all the time, and she once had asked me, Richie, what's your integrity worth? If you're selling your integrity today for $100, what do you sell it for tomorrow? And then once your integrity's all out and your character's gone, who are you? What are you worth? I was like, woo. So I was thinking about these as kind of writing out some notes for the podcast. And what better time to talk about it than right now for a Feel Good Friday weekend challenge? You might be saying, well, how is this going to make me feel good? Well, I'm going to make it feel good because I'm going to talk about you honoring you, your integrity, your honor, your character, you, the beautiful gift that you are, the 1 in 8 billion that you are. And then the challenge is going to be, what are you going to do this weekend to think about you, your character, your honor, your integrity? Are you going to take care of yourself? Are you going to eat properly? Are you going to exercise? Are you going to set a good example for your kids? Or are you going to live by the mantra, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying? And that's a lot to throw on you, didn't it? Well, if you think about kind of the Warrior Confidence brand and what we talk about here, it's that ultimate protective shield, right? Kind of like that armor of God, helping empowering you to believe in yourself, to believe in your unique God-given talents, to stand out in the crowd, not to blend in with everybody else. And how do you stand out in the crowd? Well, actually, it's easier than ever nowadays to stand out in the crowd. All you got to do is do the complete opposite of what the majority of people are doing. Yeah. Take care of yourself. Be respectful. Be kind. The old golden rule. I even like taking it a step further than the golden rule. How about the platinum rule, baby? Treat others far better than you could ever expect them to treat you. Now, a lot of times I'll mention this, and even in conferences and workshops, and people say, man, that's just kind of a naive mindset because the world's going to eat you alive. And, growing up, that's exactly what my dad said to me, too. And I mean, I love my dad. He served honorably in Vietnam. He was 101st Airborne, and he, just like any other Vietnam vet, he was a combat vet, and he's had a hard time his whole life. So his goal was kind of almost like that Johnny Cash song, A Boy Named Sue, to toughen me up to the point, because he knew he wouldn't always be around, to let me know the world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a mean, nasty place, and going to toughen up or you're not going to make it. Well, in the midst of that, I guess I did get tough. I had no choice. But then also, boy, I had a lot of demons of my own to fight in my own mind, right? And it's a good thing I had my mom and my grandma to kind of balance things out a little bit. Because, unfortunately, Dad would say, hey, if you never trust anybody, you're never going to get burnt. You're never going to get hurt. You're never going to get abused or bullied. And a lot of times I think, dang, I should have listened to Dad. But that's really no way to go through life, not trusting anybody. On the other end, my grandma would always say, Richie, it's better to trust everybody and only be wrong a few times than to trust nobody and, never be happy. I'm like, ooh. So it's kind of the yin and yang, right? Trying to balance up my mom and my grandma against my dad. And they both did the best they could with the knowledge and the wisdom they had. But anyway, back to the point of this, my whole goal with the Warrior Confidence is empowering you with that hope, that faith, that positive mental attitude, that confidence, that courage, that perseverance, that inner strength, to never give up, to battle through, to realize, yeah, life ain't all sunshine and rainbows. Life is tough, but so are you. But what's really with the makeup, the character of you, is not only what you do when no one's watching, but what you do to set an example for those who are watching. Yeah. Now, none of us are perfect. I sure as heck would never, ever claim I'm perfect. I've got more mistakes, and this is episode number 351, and I could probably spend the next 1,000 episodes talking about all my imperfections. But what I try and do is I try and share a few stories with where I've messed up, and then what I've done to kind of help solve that, or to fix that, or to overcome that challenge, in hopes that maybe you've experienced something. Well, I hope you haven't experienced something similar, but I'm quite sure you have. But in hopes that what I share with you is going to help you get over a hump, dig out of a ditch, or dig out of a hole that you're in right now, because we're always fighting battles. We're always fighting challenges, struggles, that mental bully. That's what I call the bully within, the bully in our mind, who, by the way, is the meanest, nastiest bully we'll ever face. It's about how to overcome and battle through that bully, and it works from the inside out. But a lot of that starts with good old-fashioned self-respect. Self-respect. People often ask, why do you think there's so much disrespect in the world? Why do you think people live by a mantra, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying? Well, it's because there's so little self-respect. I mean, when you don't respect yourself, it's nearly impossible to respect anything or anyone else. I mean, how can you? So that's why self-respect is one of the biggest things we talked about at the Martial Arts Academy, and kind of one of the biggest things with the Warrior Confidence brand is that self-respect. Because when you respect yourself, not only not only are you not going to allow someone else to disrespect you or be mean, rude, or hateful to you, it doesn't mean you go around beating everybody up, but it just means you don't tolerate it. But what you are going to do is you're going to have that ultimate respect for you and what you do for yourself, what you do to better yourself, exercising, especially when you don't want to. And I mean, there's many days that I don't want to. And I've given shout outs all the time to my workout partner, Dave, who lives across the street, simply because, my gosh, he kind of, I fell into a little bit of a rut there, and it affected everything, my podcast, video blogs, who I was, because I put on more weight than I ever have and didn't feel good about myself. And it was hard consistently getting back in the gym. But we've had 16 days in a row now, and I think it was 31 workouts out of the past 40 days or something. I was in Illinois for a week, so I missed a few days there, but it's been fantastic. And it not only helps me feel better about myself, but of course, everything I do, is going to be better. The same thing with you. The more you respect yourself, the more you do, like listen to this podcast, listen to other inspirational, motivational, empowering messages, planting the right seeds in your mental garden, the more you do for you to better you, the better you are going to be. I mean, it just kind of makes sense, right? And of course, the more destructive things you do for yourself, like believing you've got to cheat the world and cheat everybody, my gosh, that's just not good. And worse than that, if you're a dad, you're setting that example for your kiddos there. If you're a coach or if you're an elite athlete, you got kids following you. Be the best example you can be. Because, what was the question earlier? How do you want to be remembered? And what is your character worth? As Grandma Bonnie had once said to me, what is your integrity worth? And when it's gone, then what are you? Well, that's a lot to think about. But so, what is the weekend challenge? Well, the weekend challenge is spot on this. What are you going to do this weekend? And I'm asking you, what are you going to do this weekend to make it possibly the best weekend ever? And somebody said, well, I got to work this weekend. I got to do this weekend. I get all that. I mean, we got to work. We got to go. We got to do these things. But what are you going to do this weekend that you're going to be proud of yourself for? That those that are watching are going to notice something different about you. And it's hard to step out of that proverbial round hole. It's hard to dig yourself out of a rut. It's hard to get yourself out of a pit. It's hard to, because once that drift happens, and I've talked about that on countless podcasts. I mean, heck, I wrote a little book with Tom Ziegler called Road Trip. And it's all about the guardrails in life. Because oftentimes, on highways, think about this. There's guardrails, right? To keep you from flying off the embankment. On bridges, there's guardrails to keep you from flying off into the water. Well, in life, we rarely have guardrails, and before we know it, we've drifted off the path, and where the heck are we? And it's hard as heck to rewrite the ship, so to speak, or get back on the path. Well, that's my goal, what I try and do here with this, and I encourage you to not only listen to this podcast, but other encouraging, motivating podcasts, and plant the right seeds in your mental garden to help you. It's not a matter of if, but when we drift to get us back on the right path. So this weekend, your weekend challenge. Sit down, write down some notes. Say, I am going to do this weekend. I am going to accomplish this weekend. And what am I going to do this weekend? Well, I'm going to continue. I'm going to head over to Dave's and work out with him in just a little bit here. In the last 2 days, actually, my little buddy Emmett, we've had some dynamite workouts together, and I'm hoping he'll be able to join us today. So I'm going to do that this weekend. I'm going to spend some time journaling, working on upcoming podcast, working on my guest list because I'm going to start having guests coming on the podcast. My goal is August. We'll have to see. I want to get it lined out and make sure we're consistent with guests so we don't have gaps in the episodes. And kind of the goal is to actually go to 3 podcasts a week, have one on Monday, one on Wednesday, and then this Feel Good Friday short episode on Fridays. So that's the goal moving forward. Now that I've put it out over the airwaves, I guess I better really plan accordingly and make it happen. But that's the goal. And then Sunday, Emmett's got so I guess tonight, my little buddy Emmett's got 2 hockey games. So we'll be there at the rink. And then tomorrow, working on the things I just mentioned. And then Sunday, got hockey practice and then going to church. And then back in the gym and working out. And, I'm definitely going to spend some time with the family on Sunday as well. So squeeze all those things in. A little tease about a show I've talked about in the past, but upcoming shows, we're going to start talking a little bit more about time and time management because one thing is for sure, we all have the same amount of time, regardless who we are, how much money we have, but it's how we spend that time, right? Yeah. I mean, that's 24 hours in a day, baby. 1,440 minutes in a day. 86,400 seconds in a day. It's what we do with that time, how we prioritize it. Yeah. All right. Well, this is the Feel Good Weekend Challenge Friday. I promised I'd keep it short and sweet, and I definitely want to respect and honor your time for that. For our longer episodes, make sure you tune in, and as I mentioned, make sure you like, subscribe, give us those 5-star reviews, and by all means, if you found value in this, goodness gracious, share it with someone else that you know could benefit from this message, because collectively, the ultimate goal is making society a happier, healthier, and safer place to live, which is going to benefit all of us, right? Yeah, when people are happier and healthier and feeling better about themselves, there's less jerks out there. There's less rude, mean, disrespectful people out there. Yeah, that makes society safer. And if anything, there's always going to be rude, mean, disrespectful jerks and bullies out there. They've been around since the beginning of time. But the more empowered we are together, the more we can help one another, right? Yeah. All right, so if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, that's a bunch of crap. It really is. Is that really how you want to be remembered? Absolutely not. So this weekend, think about that mantra. Think about that. Ain't cheating, you ain't trying. And think about, no, I'm better than that. And I'm telling you, you are better than that. God made you better than that. You're a gift. Utilize that gift. But that gift starts with believing in yourself, self-respect, self-worth, self-value. And that all begins with that attitude and effort. Attitude and effort to be your best, to put forth your best, to battle through those challenges, to battle through that mental bully that tells you, you don't need to work out today. Don't worry about your nutrition today. It's okay if you cut corners today. No, kick that freaking bully's butt. Enough of it. Can you do it? Absolutely. Are you going to do it? I hope so. I truly, truly do. All right, folks. Well, hey, as a reminder, big shout out to Fitbot Exercise and Fitness app. It's the app I've been using, and I'm going to connect with those folks, and so we can't work together on something. But I'm really happy with the app. It's been fantastic. There'll be a link in the description box. Also, my wife's business, Beachside Blend. Actually went out last night with her business partner, the Randy and Gyla Woodward. Fantastic people, wonderful, wonderful Christian family, and they're going to be bringing the trailer down. He's actually flying back, and he and his dad are going to be driving the coffee truck trailer down, and hopefully by September 1st, that baby will be on the road. I'll update you with dates and locations and times where they'll be when that pops up. And, of course, a big shout-out to our buddy Master Nathan Wilkening at Goshen Martial Arts. He's in Edwardsville, Illinois. He bought our martial arts academy. He used to be, Grogan's Academy of Martial Arts, and he's doing a fantastic job there, and I want him to keep up the great work. So if you're in need of a martial arts academy and want to be empowered, your kids be empowered, check him out, Goshen Martial Arts. All right. Well, folks, make sure you like, subscribe, jump over our YouTube channel, check out our YouTube videos. Got 2 or 3 new YouTube videos popping out every single week, and the link for the YouTube channel is in the description box. And, of course, our books, Becoming Bully Proof and I Believe in Me, both available on Amazon. Links to those will be in the description box as well. And if you've read them, you love them, give them those 5-star reviews, because that helps out so, so much. I love you. God loves you. Please share that love with the world. And until we talk again, you get out there and do your best. Most importantly, your best at taking care of you to be your best, right? Yeah. You get out there and do your best, and I promise you'll become your very best. God bless you. God bless your loved ones. I can't wait to chat with you again real soon. Have a blessed day, everybody. Thanks again for listening. Bye-bye. Thank you so very much for listening today. I am truly grateful. My goal is to empower millions of people with hope, faith, and confidence to believe in themselves in order to make our society a happier, healthier, and safer place to live. But I can't do it alone. So if you found value in this message, please share it with someone else who could benefit from it, and by subscribing and leaving a 5-star review. Be sure to pick up copies of my books for yourself and someone you care about at www.warriorconfidence.com. Also, remember to stay empowered throughout the week by subscribing to our YouTube channel and our Facebook and Instagram pages at Warrior Confidence. Thank you again, and have a blessed day.